So the Bank of England is changing the designs of our banknotes, which it does from time to time, so this isn't any great shock. But as the Times reports, Churchill may be dropped from banknotes for diverse designs. Yeah, probably. It's probably going to happen. It's going to be the continual ritual humiliation of the British people. Eventually, and you know what they want to do, is one day there won't be a single native British person on British banknotes. They are, however, engaging in what they call a public consultation, where you can send in your ideas, and they'll say, no, that's racist. And if we're lucky, we'll get like Banknote McBanknote or something, at best, like the Boaty McBoatface. But at worst, we're going to get a whole series of incredibly diverse people who really made Britain what it is. But anyway, as they tell us in this piece, this has been something that's happened for a long time, since 1970. William Shakespeare was the first person other than the monarch to be depicted on one of the notes. And there have been lots of famous British people on them, which is nice. And so they want to know what to do. They're going to do a month-long consultation. And they say, although notable historical figures remain an option, the bank is expanding possible subjects to architecture, landmarks, arts, culture, and sport, noteworthy events in history, technological innovations, and nature. Now, you might think, well, hang on a second. Doesn't that open up many based avenues for cool things to be on our coins and on our notes? Now, I'm not sure that they'll put another king on there, right? Because this came up a while ago, and the Royal Mint was like, yeah, we're not going to make a Henry V coin. For some reason, we're going to have Pride and Mr. Men, which is like, right. But I mean, if anyone was going to be on a coin, I'd love it for our ancient kings to be on the coinage. That would be cool as anything, right? I mean, and what I love about this is that they rejected Henry V over the Mr. Men, right? Because, where is it? They've got a direct quote. Right, here it is. The proposal to honour Henry V, who appeared on English coins the last time at the time of his death in 1422, was not endorsed because he was not judged a sufficiently significant figure in British history. It's like, it's Henry V. How is he not sufficiently significant? The committee ruled that marking his reign would be more a celebration of Shakespeare's view of this king than a matter of his historical significance, and decided to return to a broader theme. Okay, well, I'm sorry. It's again, the question of significance, this is a deeply personal and selective interpretation. I personally think that there are loads of great options for who we could put on coins or banknotes. I mean, if you think about it, right, so we've got architecture, landmarks, and arts, right? So that architecture and landmarks, I mean, Stonehenge on a note would be nice. Obviously, Westminster Abbey or any like great cathedral, maybe. You could have Isambard Kingdom Brunel or some of the giant things that he built. That would be cool. Did he build Paddington Station? I assume he did. That in its heyday was a nice thing. But also like other historical figures. Well, I mean, we've got some great kings, right? We've got some great, obviously Alfred the Great, the OG, Ethelstan the Glorious. You could have, William the Conqueror, I guess, if you're happy with the Norman invasion. It's only been 1,000 years. You think we'd have time to get over it? But then you've got some other great ones. You've got Edward I, the Hammer of the Scots. You've got Richard the Lionheart, the Hammer of the Saracens. You've got Edward III, the Hammer of the Scots and the French. Like, under Edward III, both the King of Scotland and the King of France were in the same jail at the same time. Like, seriously, we've got some cracking kings. It's like, we've had some superb kings that would be lovely to have on modern banknotes. Other ones, right, okay, we don't want kings. What about Hengist and Horsa, the first English to arrive, the first Anglo-Saxons to arrive in what would become England? They'd be good, wouldn't they? I'd love them on a banknote. You could have Francis Drake, the terror of the Spanish, absolutely ravaged the Spanish. You could have Wellington, or you could have Nelson, right? You could have Nelson. Nelson was a superb figure, an absolutely larger-than-life figure. Having Nelson on the note, that'd be superb. That'd be great. You could, again, there are just so many. There are just so many great British figures we can have on the notes. So this doesn't have to be incredibly debased and cringe. However, it probably is going to be debased and cringe. Victoria Cleveland, as she tells us, the Bank of England's chief cashier, says that gender, ethnicity, and disability could be taken into account when planning the designs. It's going to be great, isn't it? It's going to be great. It's going to be woke propaganda. In an era where woke is clearly dying off, and the British public are sick of it and want to move beyond it, we're going to get woke banknotes. Listen to her reasoning. Banknotes are more than just an important means of payment. They serve as a symbolic representation of our collective national identity and an opportunity to celebrate the UK. Yeah, it's going to be the UK. It's going to be a celebration of our diversity. They're going to put foreigners on our banknotes. And honestly, it's entirely possible that they just put nothing but foreigners on our banknotes. Just FYI, I hate it, obviously. And it's not like this isn't without precedence. Like, of course, they're not going to put Henry V on. They're going to put Pride and Royal Mr. Men. But also, everyone remembers Rishi Sunak's Diversity Built Britain coin, the 50p, that was released in 2020. I never saw one of these, actually. I've got to say, I don't know how many they put in circulation. But again, the man who had become the first Indian Conservative Prime Minister of Britain, Diversity Built Britain. Oh yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Conservatives. I hate it more than anything. I hate everything that you've done as a series of traitors. But anyway, the point being, they're going to inflict on us just excessively woke banknotes. But you can go to the Bank of England website, bankofengland.co.uk, and they say they want to hear from you. And so they've got a form on there that you can fill out. And so like they want notable historical figures, nature. I mean, I don't mind nature being on, have some nice British animals like a badger or something on there. Architecture and landmarks, fair enough. Arts, culture and sport, that's less interesting because these things are contestable. So noteworthy milestones. I mean, God only knows what they consider to be noteworthy milestones. And innovations. I don't even want to know what they consider to be noteworthy milestones and innovations, frankly. But also, you can suggest others for us to consider. Chosen theme or themes will feature across all the next denominations we issue, 5, 10, 20 and £50, which will of course still include the portrait of the monarch, as of course they should. So you can send them a letter or use their form before the end of this month to send in your own suggestions. And honestly, maybe you should. Like maybe they'll, what about the HMS Victory? That would be a great thing to have on one of the notes, right? Or just one of the great military victories of Britain, or some of the great discoveries that we've made, some of the great scientific innovations we've made, some of the great inventions we've come up with. There's actually loads that we can do, but I can't help but feel that when they're like, well, we're going to be taking the ethnicity into this, then you know where they're heading with this, right? So what they're going to do is trawl through Britain's past, find Henry VIII's trumpeter, and one black woman who was allowed to live in Victorian London, and then a bunch of diversity people from the 20th century, and they were like, right, this is Britain. This represents your country. I'm like, brilliant. And they'll probably reissue the Diversity Built Britain coin as well. But yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm not like a huge Churchill fanboy, but I'm happy with Churchill on the notes. He at least represents something that Britain went through, for good or for ill, right? Whether you like him or not, because I know there are a lot of people who don't like Churchill. I'm personally not a hater of Churchill. I view him as a man of his time, and I view the historical forces that led to the end of the British Empire as inevitable, frankly, historical forces that there was very little we were going to be able to actually do about them. So I view him very much as a product of his time. But the point is, at least he represents Britain, right? He actually is of the place and embodies something about the place. Whereas I can see that we're going to get a bunch of people who probably won't and will actually embody something other than Britain, deliberately so, as a way of essentially lording it over us. I'm really not looking forward to it. Really not looking forward to it. But they say that the final decision will be made by the governor of the bank to avoid the embarrassment of a Notey McNote face, which is what they would get otherwise, and they know that that's what they would get otherwise. But so, I mean, they're just going to say no. You can't have that because it's not diverse enough. No, you can't have that because it's too based. No, you can't have this. You can't have that. It's going to be, oh look, someone has suggested Stormzy or something. Actually, no, it can't be Stormzy because people who are still alive will be excluded. But it'll be, some historic equivalent of Stormzy. I don't follow these cultures closely enough to know who they would be recommending. Bob Marley or something, probably. But anyway, basically, go and make a suggestion if you want to make a suggestion. They're probably not going to go for it.